course, we did the political reaction in the morning. You can go check on our video and watch. Continue supporting the channel. Thank you for those who are focusing on checking on us every day. And those who are planning for super chats or super slaps, welcome to our channel. We are so happy to have you. So today we go to a social reaction which will not take long, but it is a brief one, of course, dealing with some few aspects. If I may ask, do you think that Brian will continue schooling? That is one of the questions I'm asking, and I'll let you share based on your thoughts. All right, so let me bring here one of the posts that Marwa sent. It was within last week, right? There was a post here. So this post actually came up, and Marwa had to post it for the subscribers or donors, I don't know. So he said, "Hi Marwa, I hope you're doing well. I have unfortunately a situation that forced me to drop out my sponsors of Brian. Immediately I might resume in the future, but for now I have to focus on the kids attending university to give them a chance to graduate from their higher level education. I might resume down the road. Thank you for understanding. Our last conversation made me realize how full my hands were." So that was the post that was shared by one of the donors that was paying school fees for Brian, and a lot of people reacted to it. So maybe in your thought, do you think Brian will continue with school? If you've been watching, do you believe that he's still going to proceed with school, or will we have maybe another donor coming up to support his education? That is the one question that many people are asking currently, because as this post was actually shared, then many people came up with question asking whether maybe other people around Marwa's channel would not support the education of Brian, or maybe if Marwa himself wouldn't do so. Because now Brian is just in primary school, and if you look at the fact that the donor might have helped already 1 year education, then that tells us that the whatever is remaining might not be too big. Now, our question also went to the donor. Why would you decide to go sponsor a student only to drop them in the midway? Because this boy has been away from school for almost, was it 6 months? Then you came up to suggest you would pay school fees for them. People appreciated, they celebrated. Now, unfortunately, I wonder why people rushed to construct the house for the dancing, not the dancing grandma actually, but Brian's grandma. That is one of the projects people ran into doing when they knew very well that education was necessary for this boy. And maybe the boy would come up and build the grandmother's house later. But they really came big way. Of course, we saw people like, what are the names again? There was Michael and there was someone else. Those who are contributing big time. We actually saw this post and thought that maybe in 1 day or so, in fact in seconds, because normally when you look at those subscribers, they came so fast for Marwa. So I thought that after this one rejected helping, maybe another one would have stepped in very fast to pay school fees for Brian. So Brian was seen in the village, I think it was 5 days after schools opened. He was still in the village, roaming around, attending parties. There was this party with cheers. I don't know whose it was. He was there. And Marwa told him that he should hang around alongside this other boy. So I'm just wondering, is this other boy also having sponsorship, or has it been dropped, or are they two different donors? Because the donation for both came at almost similar time. And then I was just also surprised. Did Marwa post that so that he can get other donors coming handy for Brian, or what was the intention? Because that post was like a simple communication to subscribers to understand that if Brian will no longer attend school, then people should not ask questions. All right. Now, what was so disgusting at some point is that some of the subscribers came along posting comments on Brian's education, saying that he's not serious. But you realize he's not serious because he's not given the right counseling. How can schools open, then you let a student be at home for a whole week just so that they attend the birthday before they can go to school? That already communicates that Maro himself is not considering education seriously. You look at how he talked to this other boy, Daniel. Daniel at some point wanted to go back to school. For those of you who remember, if you have been watching Maro throughout, you know that he said clearly that Daniel should not be taken to school, that so many people have not gone to school, but they have made it. And in fact, that is the time DEE MWANGO also came up to say that what matters is not papers, that she may not have accomplished her university, but she's doing very well than many people who are professors in universities. So that communication already tells us that maybe they understood the vision of Brian is not supposed to be particularly schooling. They even started buying for him a phone. There was an iPad at some point. And so, you people who come up saying that why should we be concerned about Maro, we are concerned because of exactly the things we are seeing revolving around education, the students who are under him and such things. That is why we are concerned, or else why would we have any concern? We don't know him as a person anyway. We just know him through virtual space. Nothing more, nothing less. All right. So, when he posted like that, then days later, we just saw him focusing on Moses and buying a bike. Then we saw something about, what was this? He focused on talking about the workers who left his home. He came about to talk about the horses and his focus. He came to discuss David Jr. and how he was doing on his projects. Then came about to explain how he became a millionaire. Then, 20 hours ago, he dropped a video. Big news for Brian. So possibly, I can add up to say that he was looking for another sponsor who could take care of the education of Brian. Of course, he knows that these people in the UK, America, wherever, whether they are Africans, Nigerians, wherever it is, they'll still come handy for Brian. They'll not let him be. And he doesn't want to take that responsibility. As he says, he indicates that he's helping a lot of people and therefore he might not. Now, I was just wondering the reason why, of course, Brian had been banned not to go to the villa for the next, were they 3 years? 3 years after he went there and stole some stuff. He was warned that he should never step in that villa until he finishes school. Unfortunately, we saw Marwa going back to his word and reversing. Then Brian was allowed in the villa the other day. We saw him popping wine alongside the other older people and together with Daniel and everybody else. But I found that absurd a little bit because this is a student in primary school, not even high school. And he is absenting himself from school a whole week. In the indication by Daniel that after all, students don't start reading the first day. I was like, when students open the first day, they don't open for the teachers. They open for themselves. They are supposed to prepare within classes, read through storybooks and what have you. It's not necessary that when you go to school, you are expecting the teachers to study. In fact, this week, students have been enrolling in grade 10. And I know most of them will begin learning maybe 2 weeks later. But that process of going early is there to prepare them to settle in school, to see about the environment, to also begin now reading storybooks as they prepare for real learning. So it doesn't make sense actually to make a student sit at home and you claim that it's because when they open the first day or second day, learning will not proceed. Most schools, learning doesn't proceed. Of course, the reality about studies, or rather education or psychology, says students only get 35% from the teacher. The rest is supposed to be about them. Them making efforts, doing extra assignments, consulting, and such things, all right? So it's unfortunate maybe parents don't understand these things, and so they think that it's about the teacher, how much the teacher spends with the student. is equal to the performance, which is not true. Of course, coaching is required in areas where a student has weaknesses and being pushed and all that. But that comes only after the student understands themselves and have created room to go forth. Now let's get to see the good big news for Brian here, because of course this was dropped Africa, yesterday. Guys. It's not showing here. Africa is the way to go. It is the way to go. I'm running away from the music, otherwise I'll get copyright and I have to speak over like this so I don't get the copyright. And also maybe I should close here to reduce, labor. Labor, I could give someone this house to do all that job, just to plaster and to put a floor. Let's first finish with the material. Tiles. Oh, tiles. Okay. So we had 100. Plus tiles, let's say. Tiles. How many boxes? We would spend easily 35,000. Boxes, like. Alright guys, I think I will end my video there. I was just telling you is we have some very good news for Brian and Grandma. Can you take Grandma to take a thumbnail? We have some good news for Brian and Grandma. Brian is will have sponsorship. Actually, I've looked for 2 sponsors. Not even I've looked for them. They have reached out to me. And one is called Thomas. And he sent last night around, let me check. I just want to be very sure of what he sent. I don't want to say numbers. Even Thomas will wonder, Maro, what is not going on here? Let me see. I'm looking for my M-Pesa. He sent, yes, 32,790. And also I received another $50 for, Brian. I guess it's Brian. Even me sometimes these things confuse me. Yeah, from Australia, $50. If anybody received any money, we want the owners to know the money has arrived and we are working to go to where. You received any money? From the one guy, Osuli. Okay. Yes. And one for Moses. And one for Moses. For Moses? Yes. Yes. Actually 2. 2 people. Yeah, there is her mom and the one guy. All right, so that was ground checking to ensure that all the donors in the house are aware of what they have sent and what they're getting to. Thank God, Brian finally has other donors coming in handy for his education. But before that, I was just wondering, before, when one donor was lost, Maro would have actually held the hand of Brian, taken him back to school as they wait for the other donor. However, he kept posting that message just to show that he doesn't have, and that was it. And of course, as people kept asking whether Brian is going to school or not, I knew, of course, he's going to get another donor who is possibly going to stand for him. Now he has 2 donors, one from Australia and another Thomas right there. Maybe you appreciate them because at least Brian will continue with studies. But what is very surprising is that some of the subscribers are very malicious. They quickly ran to say that Brian is not worth being sponsored because he's not serious. And I was like, why is he not serious? Because if you check on matters taking kids to school, it is not in the hands of the kids. It is either parents, guardians, or sponsors. So when schools open immediately, why did this sponsor not post the message early so that an option is found? Again, why would Marwa not have an option but rush to post this thing, and then later on now we see this happening? It was quite unfortunate. And of course, people are focusing towards the decampaigning of people coming to Grandma's place. I'm like, I hope you've now realized that there is need for privacy in Grandmother's place, because all along she did not feel comfortable with people coming and filming all over the place. But we could see Marwa trying to scorn her, and even Daniel saying that she normally hides from the people. And I was like, really, should you really want to show somebody on camera all the time if they are not interested. When you are actually doing content, you are supposed to focus on what you want to show. Like if I have to show my face, then I show it because I'm comfortable. If anyone is not comfortable with it, don't force them. So unfortunately, it seemed like they were forcing the grandma to appear on camera all the time when she was very uncomfortable. They were going to her bedroom and every other room exposing everything, regardless of people saying whatever. But we appreciate that finally Marwa is coming out and saying that she does not want people to come around this home and do any more content using grandma. Let's see this.
These projects like never ending, because I don't want to be here asking you for money. That's one thing. I like to give you guys space to do something. Yes, but because the guy who was running this project, money issues started arising and saying this money is for grandma, this is not for grandma, this is what. It reached a point I said, no, I don't want to deal with those people. Let them go start their own projects and do whatever they want to do there. But I don't want this home to be used for like a way to get money, you know? Yes. Because initially the story was...
That is quite absurd because Nyabohanze, if you have been studying of late, including Max 00, who else? There is Gintu, you check on Marwa, you check on David Jr., you check on all these people, the YouTubers in Nyabohanze actually use people's project to make money or to acquire people who can support them. It has become a way of channeling money towards their own platforms. Of course, somehow they'll help those people to improve their life. We don't deny that. Yeah, like grandmother's place was improved. It has changed by miles away from what it was. But at the same time, people are benefiting in that project. However, there is a lot of envy that happens among those who are using the same method. Of course, whenever something becomes competition, rivalry happens, and then we will see a lot of wars. A lot of wars will actually rise. And one of the wars is what we are seeing between Marwa and the rest of the people in Nyabohanze. Of course, you remember that was Nico Buddha and which guy? There was Nico Buddha and another guy. And that war is what Marwa is referring to. Because they began coming around saying the money was not for this or that or that. But is it in his powers to actually control those people who will come around to help? Or is it because he is the one who built the house of grandma that he has now that right to actually question and stop people from coming? Maybe that's why, I don't know. I don't just know. But as we watch from a distance, we see a very dysfunctional operation right here at Marwa's and his people, the fellow YouTubers. And let's just listen something
here for this kitchen, and it's not being given. Then later, from 500, it came to 100. So you see, those are the things I don't want to deal with. So we'll say this: those who want to contribute in this house, what we need is we need to plaster, number one. We need to plaster this. We need to put windows. And we need to put also here a slab. In this area here. We need to put a slab here. And we need to plaster the entire house. Probably even we may need 2 tippers, get rid. Or one is enough.
I think one is enough.
To plaster this. Don't see this as a small house.
But 2.
Remember, we are
inside and outside.
Yeah, we are plastering, and then we have to put the
slab.
The slab.
Yes.
Okay, so Gitriba has to switch the seats to please Marwa, possibly. When Marwa says 2 tippers or 1, he has to say 1 is enough, then says no, actually 2. Okay, the estimation here is on the highest level, but anyway, opportunity, they say, comes once and can always fly away. So, guys, Marwa is trying to dominate that grandma's home because he feels he has the right. He's the one who came about, started construction, and maybe he has the right to do so, I don't know. But then, the YouTubers in Nyabohanze, who was your teacher? Who was actually your teacher in all this? Because it's like you've learned to do things in the same way. Duplication of the highest order, okay? So we have been seeing that happening all over the place, and it's like people are just copying what the other person is doing and do it the same way. And some of the projects move so slow. Like if you have been watching the Dancing Grandmas, and that house has taken a very long time. It started in October. Now we are in January. It's no longer, it's not yet over. But the progress has been made. Of course, people will appreciate the change that has been made in that home. Why not? No wonder they keep telling us that some of us go to work, but we can't do projects as much as these YouTubers in Nyabohansi. Yeah, blessed are they, because you look at how fast they do their projects. Some of us, we struggle with projects for the longest time possible. You go left, right, look for money, left, right, up, down. You don't finish. You even get tired because you are not achieving your goal. But for them, you can see actually within 6 months at least, they are able to achieve their goal and move on. And of course, you saw recently that 23-year-old multi-billionaire with the house being displayed at the back. So all that are the shenanigans online that would actually make us question a lot, ask a lot of questions. No wonder we keep asking them, and people will be like, why are you asking? Why are you concerned? The concerns are just coming as a result of what is happening anyway. We have no choice but to talk about it. We have no choice. And if someone feels so agitated when we talk, they would rather just keep off from our channels, because we don't force people to come here. But those who come and they are able to critically think and see, then you are welcome. Or you just come, watch, and you can go away and say, no, I'll never watch this one again. It will be okay. Because we cannot all of us think in the same way. We cannot just be here to praise and worship, you know. So you find that there are those who are really agitated when they find us asking questions about some things. They are like, why would you ask? We ask because we are who we are, you know. I am not you. So when I ask questions, maybe for you have answers. You can also just open a YouTube channel and begin answering questions. Whereas for me, I'll ask questions, I'll critically analyze and such things. All right, so away from Marwa, I saw something else happening that I felt I should talk about. So let me just check on this. Our sister DEE MWANGO was actually having a live stream yesterday. In the live stream, she was able to answer so many questions that many people are asking. I don't know whether the questions were quite satisfying. For some of them, they were very hard questions. Of course, some of the subscribers were called, there was one called what? I can't recall the name, because of asking about whether DEE MWANGO married for papers or for love. I remember there was such a question. And of course, one of the subscribers told her, if she did for papers, then it's okay, because people go for whatever opportunities they have to.
I'll try as
So,
much as I can. But I need to start doing the inquiries right now, so that by the time
let's see this video here. Thank you. Thank you. I can see someone watching. That is Patrick Lonely. Welcome. You're saying, bless up, you are doing a precious, fair and clean job. I see that you are not picking any side, just the fact. Okay, thank you for seeing that aspect. And of course, I always, when I started YouTube channel and I started reaction, I said I will just do a critical analysis and not actually picking side to give a conclusion, because I have no conclusion. I'm just asking, is this okay? Has this, you know? And that is it. But some people feel like when you talk about this, you are already ruining some other people's whatever. Now, we came about to see DEE MWANGO answering question answers. Some people asking very tough questions, as I've said. One of the questions was about papers, and she said she called the person some names, I think. I think it was agitating for her.
the OG. Maria, oh my God, big shout out to you. Maria 1834, thank you so much for 500 Kenyan shillings. You know, like sometimes I feel like crying. People who have seen me grow, like it's like seeing a baby grow, you know, from being born to crawling to walking to running. Thank you so much, Cindy. And majority of you, actually my moderators, you guys have seen me grow from living life. Yeah.
I don't know, it's the world hasn't changed, but you have this peace in you. Like, you have this person, you are like done with that nonsense. I'm sorry, but you know how it is. Dating, life, and all that today, big no-no. Oh my God, horrible. I don't know how it was 50 years ago, but I assume you went for a disco, you talked to a girl or something more normal. And today, the dating apps, I hate those. They destroyed not only dating, they destroyed like culture, so many things. I don't want to start talking about it because I can talk for an hour about it.
All right, so in the question, I think people wanted really to know about how the two mate. And in the question, DEE MWANGO did not want to answer. Piotr is the one who answered. And Piotr was saying he is disgusted. He feels horrible about apps. And that apps destroy culture. And I was like, which culture? Polish culture or Korea culture? Of course, he may be telling the truth, because when you come to apps, for example, they have ruined, especially I've seen students who have been ruined in the process, because sometimes they are fooled and then they are kidnapped. And not just students, even adults. We've seen such scenarios. So the fact of apps, of course, it may have its advantages. I've seen people posting about the successes, but it has its disadvantages. And that is why sometimes when you come to music festivals, we have poems that target to teach children about this, cyber crimes and how they can affect them, which is very important to the community. I wish DEE MWANGO and Piotr, if they are genuine about how they actually met and it's not through an app, they would come up research about the advantages and disadvantages of such, and then share out how they met, and maybe give people some psych, instead of just saying that they hate it, it's horrible, and then they are not digging deep into it. So they leave people with a lot of questions. And because when you are doing a live stream or whatever, then you ask open questions, people will come up and ask a lot. And I think allowing people to ask question, answer, is something that means you are ready for any question, ready. Actually, if I decide, for example, here to say question answer, I should be ready for any sort of question. People will come up with all sorts of questions. Should I be emotional while responding? That one, I think I can leave an open room to you. Do you think when you give people a room to answer your questions or ask questions to you, do you need to be emotional whenever they ask any question? Remember, you always tell them, yeah, let's talk, ask any question. So if they ask any question, it's like in class, if you are teaching and you tell students ask any question, do you know they'll ask you very funny questions, very funny ones. They'll not even ask about the topic you are teaching. They'll begin to ask you about your personal life. How about that? Will you be annoyed and you have told them any question? I don't think so. So I think maybe if they are not very comfortable with some questions, they would rather come out and tell people that our questions should be around this, like if they want to limit so that they don't go quarreling with the subscribers. But anyway, there was this question. I've just forgot the specific part the person asked.
That I'm very positive, and I know even after falling down, I know I will wake up, dust myself, and keep going. Some people will never want to show that. They will just show you the beautiful side of everything. I share everything. And I love that about me, because I'm being so authentic. And also it helps me. I find this platform to be a place where I store my memories. So even in future, I'll be like, I'll never forget this day when the dog ate the documents. I'll never forget. So that's why I love documenting everything. So even when I'm...
All right, so of course that was coming after one of the audience told her that she should not share everything online. I think there was some concern from some people who are saying she's sharing a lot of information about her life, very sensitive one. Some people are talking about evil eyes. I was like, okay. So people in modern life, but they still believe in these shenanigans. Anyway, maybe it's practical that indeed evil eyes are there. I don't know. maybe you can drop a comment over that. Do you believe that if you share a lot online about your life, then there are evil eyes out there that can affect you? I don't know. Maybe some people can drop comments in relation to that. Do you believe in that? That is okay. So she came out saying that she shares everything because she wants to be authentic, and she shared everything because she actually wants to document her life. But I was like, I don't think even if someone would say they share everything, it's quite impossible for you to share everything. Like, how would you place a recorder that is recording everything about you? How practical is that? How practical is that? Even politicians, the politicians like our president Ruto, or President Museveni, or the president of Tanzania, or whichever other country, even Trump, does he record everything about their life? I don't think so. Even when there are those, they decide which information or what thing to filter. Because, come on, like, and do you know why she was answering that question? Some people are asking about the fact that she's sharing sensitive information about testing her pregnancy and ovulation. I think it came around that. I don't know. Is it suitable that someone should come up sharing that? I don't know. Because some people have taken a different perspective. They think she was mocking Trudy. Others think she was actually competing. I don't know what to say about that. I don't have a particular opinion about this particular aspect. I don't understand what motivated her into sharing such. Whether it was the desire to actually have children, as she said, or whether it is competition, or whether it's rivalry, or whether it's mockery, I don't just know. So let's check on some other part of the video. There was this part that it was quite disgusted. I don't know. I'm not getting it that fast.
Wow, Dulceta book. Wow, nice. I'm happy to have met your son. He's an amazing person. We visited with Chris. Wow, at all. Somebody's asking me, will you sell the car in Kenya after all? No, I'm not going to sell it. I just decided to let it be. No, I'm not. I don't know, but I don't know. Like, once I buy something that I'm not intending, like, that is not meant to be for business, I never feel the need of selling it. So, I'm not that
Sawa, nakuja. Namalizia video
very
nitakuja.
good, very great. I want to read this comment. Somebody says, married for papers. Which papers did I marry
Yeah,
for?
that is the
Which
particular
papers
part.
did I marry for? I think this person is even just crazy. Don't even get me started.
Can
But
I
just
tell something?
okay.
You got no papers.
I got no
What to
papers.
say?
Yeah.
Apparently,
I got no
no
papers.
papers. And
Literally.
in like years to come, no papers.
So you who is saying I married for papers,
To
you're
get
so
the
crazy.
papers, you need 5 years of really commitment to get the papers. And with you traveling and all that, I'm not sure we're even gonna go for it, right?
Wait, let me now tell this person who says I married for
All right, so that is one of the questions that has started the online, or rather the virtual space, with people asking. Of course, many people are asking, or rather making already reactions of that sort, saying she married for papers. For me, I don't even mind whether she did so. Maybe that is what she wanted, whatever it is. Just as they kept saying that Marwa was also married for a strong passport. I don't know what it means by strong passport. For me, passport is passport. If passport can allow you to travel, I think that's what is important. If it can allow you to go work in another country, that is what is important. So this aspect about papers and whatever. And in any case, maybe if she did so, then that was her thought, maybe her opportunity. Now, the husband has come out to clearly dispute that and say that she's not going to get any papers until 5 years. You know, that even after marrying, she has to wait for 5 years of commitment before she can actually get papers. And because they are traveling, they don't even have time to go for them. I'm like, okay, I don't know whether it's just denial, but in reality, whether it is, but we'll know with time. Time tells anyway. And again, now Maru, not Maru actually, but DEE MWANGO had to take some step and teach the person. Now let's hear, what did she say?
papers. For your information, in my 20s, there's nowhere that I've ever wanted to be and I've never been. With my own papers as
Okay.
DEE MWANGO. What an achievement. You know, I'm not like you who wants to be saved. Me, I'm not here to be saved. For your information, 100%. I've been traveling the world everywhere. I've gotten all the visas I've ever wanted to. There's nowhere that I want to go and I cannot go because of papers. For your information. So don't get me started with this paperwork. I've already gone everywhere that I wanted to go. I still have valid visas on my passport that I even haven't exhausted them yet. So we ain't the same. I'm on a different level. So come on, check on yourself properly, okay? Check on yourself properly.
Ulizaneni mjue, cause
You're
me
not the
I
same.
wouldn't say having papers gets you on a different level, but saying that you're here for papers doesn't make any sense.
Like this is big.
And paper, I would get it maybe if you're in the US or something, but no.
All right, so Piotr now agrees that Poland papers are not as strong as US. And he indicated that if it was US, maybe he would agree that DEE MWANGO was there for papers. So I was like, are you trying to collaborate or rather agree with the subscribers and some of the reactors in what they are saying? Or why are you saying that? Because it is what it is. I don't know. I just don't know. Maybe you should drop your comments on this, you know? So the discussion was long on so many things. You know, a live stream takes a lot of things. And in another video she did on the same day, she had to tell us how she relocated to Poland. I was like, did you relocate or you went to see the boyfriend and got married? Did you relocate? Anyway, now she says she's not going to sell her car. And the other day she was asking people what she should do with her car. What is your thought? Should she sell her car? Or should she have, of course, she has already made a decision she's not going to sell because she says once she buys anything, she doesn't feel like giving it up. All right? So it is what it is. I don't have so much to share here because there is a ton of events in so many things on the YouTube space, actually. But we've taken already our 37 minutes. So adios, thank you so much for coming around. I must go to another channel, do another short video and call it a day. Bye bye for now.